Welcome back to the at-home throwdown. For those of you that don't have equipment, we have a great workout for you today. 5 rounds for time of 50 air squats and a 1,000 feet shuttle run. You're going to run 50 feet down and back 10 times for that for each of your rounds. If you don't, or gosh, dang it, if you do have equipment, if you do have equipment, we still have our regular throwdowns. We posted at YouTube at the exact same time. And the cool thing for all of you is both of these workouts are in our 6-part workout series, the Quarantine Classic.
Hi friends, I'm here to tell you about a competition on April 17th and 18th called the Quarantine Classic. We have 6 workouts over the course of 2 days. And I must say, we have a very nice exercise selection for those tests. So far, we have Chandler Smith, Noah Olson, and Travis Mayer committed to compete with us in the Quarantine Classic. But this competition isn't necessarily about the elites. It's about making sure that we preserve the spirit of competition in a time where a lot of people lost their motivation. So even though it's 6 tests, you don't have to be an elite athlete. You can jump onto the leaderboard for just one of them, or do them all and see if you can beat me. So your next question might be, what are the prizes for the Quarantine Classic? And that's a good question. Right now, we're gonna give t-shirts to the top 3 males and females. So we're gonna announce all the workouts live on Thursday night on our YouTube channel. Remember, this is a free competition. So if you wanna sign up and learn more, including the equipment needs for this competition, head over to trainingthinktank.com/quarantine classic. Now we're good. Quarantine Classic, engine workout number 2.
And Brandy's comeback.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How many months is she post-pregnancy right now?
She had Liam in December.
Okay, yeah. So it definitely still counts as a win for me if I beat her.
I want you to carry around a child for 9 months, guys.
I can't.
You'd be so whiny.
Oh my God. Max would be the worst pregnant woman.
I mean, for sure, yeah.
I never heard Brandy complain about anything.
Anything, ever, yeah. So marking off 50 feet, we use that little wheel over there. We got the chalk line right here. We got a chalk line on the other side, and I forget what that is in the distance. Put something there for a reference for the camera. Chris also moves around a little bit as we're doing this. My thought process when do this was, for me specifically, was try to do the squats unbroken for as long as I can and just jog the runs, knowing that I'm not really a great distance runner, and that would be really my only competitive advantage is if my legs could take it. When I took off on this run, I was like, oh my God, I can't run. What is this?
Yeah, I felt that exact same thing after I tried to do them as fast as I could. I was like, I might have to slow this down a little bit. You also just finished the 10-round workout. So
I did. I'm still
good for you doing 2 workouts in a day.
I'm still wearing the Saturdays are for Throwdown shirt. You can't tell how sweaty and gross it was. I was like, I'm not gonna change my shirt for this. I'm gonna be sweating in 10 seconds anyway.
So those that are trying to be competitive in the Quarantine Classic, you're gonna wanna do this on a field, have cleats on.
Yep.
I think that's the way we intended it to be, but we obviously know, and we did it like this because most people are gonna have to do it at home.
Yeah, so this is the workout that we knew, like, all right, let's make something that has no equipment that people can do for fun. Pretty much anyone's gonna have a 50-foot stretch. Shuttle runs are pretty tough. If you're gonna try to do this fast on concrete and you gotta get low, you're gonna likely slip and slide out, or you're gonna be like accelerating and decelerating really quickly. So I would recommend, if you can, getting to a field, wearing cleats and doing it that way would be the optimal for like a fun competition for everybody else. I think this is good enough. I don't think that many people are gonna be able to, do fast running in this anyway, with that much squatting. You got to be pretty fit to be able to sprint 50 air squats for 250 in a row and still run at a fast speed.
Oh, but I would love to see something like this at the games where it was unbroken thrusters or squat cleans into an actual on-the-field shuttle run where they had to run fast.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing when you really, like, obviously I take training seriously and I go hard, but just the amount of power output difference between an elite athlete and somebody that's even training pretty seriously is just like, it's like a different world.
Yeah.
Do you get dizzy on those at all?
No, not too bad. I was like, oh, this is great. I could just match Brandy's cadence and shuffle along. But then at some point, I was by myself.
I think something for everybody at home is, even if you are jogging it cut on the opposite leg each time. So as you run down, cut on your left. As you come back, cut on your right. Just like a burpee, right? Stay balanced by stepping up with the opposite leg each time.
Yeah.
An easy way to coordinate that is to just always face the same direction when you cut.
Yeah.
You played sports, Mia.
Yeah. And for squatting here, I have this little like baby pause at the top of every rep, partially because I wanted to make sure that my reps looked good on camera and weren't questionable, but partially because it gives me a little bit of time away from tension. If you want to go fast, I feel like you got to kind of eliminate that when you're just basically passing through extension and squatting down. I don't know how much time you can save doing a set of 50 like at full speed.
Yours are still a lot faster than I
Yeah.
thought. You said that you were pausing at the top.
It doesn't look like a pause
yeah,
to me.
that's still pretty good.
I think in most competitions, if you were to go faster than that through the
just start getting
extension,
no
you would
reps.
get no rep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way that you have to do it is literally you're almost coming up to your toes at extension and then dropping right back down. So it's
Yeah.
more power output and probably not wise to do, but that's the only way you can go faster.
Yeah, I'm guessing just based on like doing my running intervals every week that I'm probably like jogging a 9-minute mile pace here on these. So knowing that it's still a little bit, 1,000 feet times 5 rounds is 5,000 feet, so it's still a little bit less than a mile total. People are probably they'll probably be cutting 2 minutes off just on the run if you're running quickly.
Yeah.
So that can kind of give you a perspective of how much time you can save. But you have to take into consideration that your legs are like, my legs were really blown up here. I think better running mechanics, you probably wouldn't be as leg dominant as I am, but I don't know, it's just kind of gross to run after squatting.
When I'm running under leg fatigue, I try to focus on just opening up my stride more. Not necessarily like a quicker cadence, but that longer stride is going to turn into just moving a little bit faster. And usually I don't feel like I'm burning my legs up too much doing that.
You feel like you're leaning more when you do that?
Yeah.
Like leaning
yeah,
forward?
probably, yeah.
I've tried to play around with that a little bit, but sometimes it feels like it makes it even worse for my hamstrings when I do that.
Oh, really?
For the elites, Brandon has already done this in 12 minutes, right?
Yep, it was 12 minutes.
12.
Unbroken air squats, and they were pretty fast. But I mean, I had to jog those too. I did it on our road, and it's a little bumpy. And I tried to cut the first round. I was like, this is just gonna make it way worse. And that was the third workout of the day for me too. So I was testing some of the Quarantine Classic workouts, and I thought that actually made it a little bit faster for me. But if you want to get a really fast time, you're going to have to cut every single, or close to every single turn.
Yeah, I would be very curious how much worse this would hurt with cleats and actually trying to run fast.
Yeah, way
and if I
worse.
would have actually, like, strategy-wise, it would have been better off to say, hey, I'm going to do 15, 15, 10, 10 on the air squats and run harder. So that way, you know, because there's probably more time to be saved on the run than by going unbroken on the squat. So I think this might highlight that I just picked the wrong strategy for myself.
It's really hard to know. I actually thought when I was warming up, my plan was going to be 25, 15, 10. And try to make them as fast as possible with like 5 to 10 second breaks. But once I got going, I was like, you know what, the first round I'm just gonna do 50 as fast as I can, run, and then see where I'm at, and it just felt pretty good, so that's what I kept.
Did you feel like your legs recovered as you ran more in each set?
Yeah.
So maybe that's a strategy, is to take like 1 or 2 laps of recovery pace and then force yourself to pick it up after that.
Yeah, for sure. 10 is a lot of down and backs.
Yeah.
You're turning a lot, and it's almost hard to keep an understanding of where you were. Mike was judging Brandy, and I was basically just doing it myself. In the beginning, we were making the cuts at the same time, but starting in this round, I had to start counting for myself, and it was way more challenging than I thought, and it was almost disorienting. You're like, oh my God, back and forth 20 times when you're already kind of tired and fatigued.
Yeah, you definitely need a judge for this if you're gonna try to be a competitive score, because you will not be able to count those if you're going fast.
And 50 air squats
Yeah.
every round. It's easy to like lose count.
The way that I did it in my head, I had Jordan there helping out, but the way that I did it in my head was just 1, 2, 3, 4 to 20.
Yeah.
Instead of like doing down and back as 1, because then I just like,
Yeah.
my brain
Where
does
was
not work that way.
Where am I?
Brandy's cuts are a little cleaner than yours. You kind of loop a little, and she's a little more athletic than you.
I like the way you put
Fair
that.
enough. Yeah. But I am winning, so it says something.
You can see the way they run too.
Yeah.
Soccer player. And
That's the wrestling shuffle. Yeah. They used to make fun of me running around the wrestling mat. They're like, you just shuffle around. I'm like, well, I can only sprint 20 yards at a time or shuffle. Those are my two options.
2 speeds.
Yeah.
What was I mean, this was like 65 degrees all day, right?
This was
nice.
This was
It
a nice day. Yeah, the sun was a little hot. There's a little bit of shade you could see on the other side. I originally had it set up, and I was like, oh, I'll air squat in the shade. And Chris was like, hey, can you air squat on this side so we can have you in the sun? I was like, I don't want that.
Oh man, the weather's been so nice.
Yeah.
It makes me want to work out more too.
Yeah, watching this makes me want to do the workout again, but I'm probably not going to. I'll just accept my losses.
Bad enough.
Yeah. If you guys are more fit than this, you're good on you.
Yeah, I mean, your pace is still really fast.
Yeah, I guess now watching it, my squat cadence was pretty good. The squat progressions and all the squat volume that we did in the design over the last year have definitely paid off. Now, my running has not paid off as much, but it's going to take a while, I think.
Running is tough when you're 230 pounds,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
Especially for distance.
Is this your 4th set of squats?
Yeah, this is my 4th set. I think I think I was like 11 reps ahead of Brandy when I started this set. And I started this little like arm action thing. Like,
I like
actually
that.
made a big difference.
Yeah, I do that. I do that every single rep.
Just trying to figure out how to get some momentum on the way up.
Jordan was making fun of me. I was like, you should try it. Yeah. Kipping air squat.
Yeah. Yeah. I also noticed too, going fast, it's like, you have cues for what an optimal air squat is for like keeping your heels rooted, but when you're starting to go fast and you're running, I just felt myself continually moving forward to my toes.
Yeah, that's how I always feel.
Really? Yeah.
Just always on the balls of my feet. I
Great cut.
I'm dying here, Mia. Are you gonna do this workout?
Mia, can you just keep roasting him? Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
sit back.
That was a little better.
Yeah.
You stopped on the one
Oh,
before.
my legs are killing me at this point. And it highlights the same type of issue in the other at-home workout in the other throwdown workout of the week is if I'm racing somebody and I get ahead, it's very hard for me to be like, all right, like, go hard now. I'm like, all right, you gotta lead, just keep it. Just one more round.
I think that actually is like a good conversation to have, and people should think about this. If they have training partners and you're beating them all the time, that could be a good thing for a little amount of time.
Yeah.
But then you also may be slowing down. But then the same thing is true if you're losing all the time, you're trying to chase and burning yourself out. That also can be a really bad thing. So
Yeah.
something to think about.
I've heard for sport development, they say like 30% of your training time should be spent with people that you can beat and teach, 30% with a peer group where you're going back and forth, and then 30% where you're getting beat and you're stretched. Did I say getting beat twice? Where
No, you said
Did it
peer
right?
group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you can't follow that model here, though. I feel like
No,
it's
yeah. But not also like
93% getting beat,
Yeah.
7%, or yeah.
7% wins. Yeah.
I was gonna say 7% peers. There's no wins.
1% wins?
I think I've won one workout. It was a field run.
You dominated the box step up workout last week.
No, I didn't.
No.
I got crushed.
Yeah.
By a couple people, but there was 100
I
some people.
barely made the top 10.
No, come on.
But that sandbag shuttle workout at the games camp, that was my shining moment.
Yeah, it was. All right, so this is the last round of squats.
One thing I would encourage people to do is play around with their foot width.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably another thing. I'm shorter than Max, so my depth's going to be a little bit different. That's probably how I sped up a little bit. But then also I widened my feet way out, and that made them a lot faster.
I can't believe you're done already. I wish I could see it side by side just to feel how much faster you're running.
I think we should do that with more workouts. Like with the 10
What do you
rounds,
mean?
we
We
should.
trained together, before
Well, no,
the
a
quarantine.
side by side.
Oh, side by
Just
side.
like
just to embarrass me?
No. Let's see, or the difference of Noah doing it versus me. So
Yeah.
he's going to be even faster. So then, like seeing the difference of different levels.
We should get somebody that always loses to me to do that, so that it makes me look like
there
I'm
anyone?
super fast. Probably.
Is there anyone
I
that
don't
falls
know.
into that category?
There's some. When I put it,
I'll bring my 2-year-old.
8, 9, 30.
Right.
We haven't talked about Brandy at all. We've been talking about you the whole time.
What do you mean? That's your fault. I'm self-centered.
Brandy's runs definitely looked very smooth. I think the difference is her pause at the top of the air squat was definitely longer than yours.
Yeah, she had some breaks too. I mean, obviously, like the conditioning of being post-pregnancy is a little bit different than having a couple years of continuous squat volume. So she lost some of just like the capacity to feel comfortable squatting in that level of volume.
What are some things you've learned as a coach? Is she your first athlete?
Yeah.
Competitive athlete that went through pregnancy?
Yeah, I think just maybe compassion. Just being more compassion to struggles. I think when people are just complaining about training and soreness, you're like, whatever, you got to deal with it. Everyone's dealing with something. But when they're growing a human inside of them and their whole body's shifting and their movement patterns are changing, it's like, it's literally just dealing with like a whole different body, a whole different mind, priorities shifted right away. After having the baby. So it's just been an interesting experience to try to figure out, like, she's tough. Like, her first thought was, I want you to keep pushing me. I'm like, I don't want to now. I want to protect you.
She's definitely kicking on this run.
Yeah. I tried to just keep up with her as much as I could.
I will say, just watching Jordan now go through 2 pregnancies and then coming back, and she's trying to get back into training again right now, it's just so incredible how any woman does it, because there are so many changes that I think men in general probably don't understand, or even if they try to, they still can't comprehend. So it is really cool to see Brandy push hard, and then even Jordan, obviously my wife, is doing the same thing, so pretty awesome.
Perfect. Slow clap. Yeah. Can we slow clap me? He actually perfectly timed that with the end of my workout.
And Mike being a great dad back there, pushing Liam around.
That's true.
Did he cry while you guys?
No, he was good.
He's
I
a
actually
champ.
picked him up and did a flying routine with him. I think that's like the second time I've ever held a baby.
He's so small, too.
Good job,
All right,
Brandy.
and there it is. 14:47, 15:15. I think I let out a little smirk because I still talk shit that I beat her. I'm a bad person. All right, quarantine classic and throwdown people. Good luck.
It's a wrap, you know what I'm saying? Your boy Project Pata in this thing, man. Hey, look, man, thank y'all for watching Training Think Tank's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that motherfucking subscribe button, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go ahead, man. Thank y'all for watching the channel, you know what I'm saying? Hit that motherfucking subscribe button. Let it be known, what it be known, what it be known, you know what I'm saying? Pata.